Humans are exploiting natural resources to the degree where we are reaching tipping points, risking irreversible damage to us and the planet, according to a new UN report. The study by the UN's think tank, the United Nations University, says we need to better manage the world's resources to avoid catastrophic impacts. Indeed, data from the last 12 months show temperatures that are the hottest ever recorded. A peer-reviewed report by the nonprofit Climate Central said burning gasoline, coal, natural gas, and other fossil fuels that release planet-warming gases like carbon dioxide caused the unnatural warming from November 2022 to October 2023. In September, Indian Collective called on the Biden administration to end the reliance on fossil fuels. And that is a complicated path for world governments. Jean Lahamacourt is an environmental advocate and a citizen of the Fort McKay First Nation.
What our Canadian leadership is doing is putting their blindfolders on and not really being accountable for what they have done, and yet they're portraying that Canada is environment friendly and all this, but this is the biggest source of the carbons here. Like, how can you say that?
Canada is among roughly 100 nations that have pledged by mid-century to reach zero emissions, or take as much greenhouse gas out of the atmosphere as it contributes. At last year's UN climate conference known as COP27, Canada also joined other rich nations to promise more money for developing countries to fight climate change. Yet, at that same conference, Canada brought the second largest delegation of fossil fuel executives of any country in the world, according to the Associated Press. The business of extraction mixed with the challenges of climate change. Well, and in this country, last week a federal judge upheld the Biden administration's approval of the massive Willow oil drilling project on Alaska's remote North Slope. U.S. District Judge Sharon Gleason rejected requests by grassroots Inupiat groups and environmentalists to reverse the approval of the project. It's within the National Petroleum Reserve, Alaska, and environmentalists say the president is backpedaling on his pledge to combat climate change. The company behind the project, ConocoPhillips Alaska, has the right to develop its leases in the reserve subject to reasonable restrictions and mitigation measures imposed by the federal government, the judge wrote. She added that the project is consistent with the policy objectives for the Petroleum Reserve. Environmental groups say the project will contribute to greenhouse gas emissions, and the groups could affect ice-reliant species such as the polar bear, Arctic ring seals, and bearded seals, which are already experiencing population declines because of climate change. Last winter, a hotel manager in South Dakota warned Native Americans to stay away from the property. Now, a consent decree from the U.S. Department of Justice has banned one of the hotel's owners from working, and she must publicly apologize for her actions. The federal agency announced the apology last week as part of the consent decree with the owners of Rapid City's Grand Gateway Hotel. Hotel co-owner Connie Uri, in March 2022, posted on social media that she would no longer allow American Indians on the property because of a fatal shooting at the hotel involving two teenagers who police said were Native American. Members of the indigenous-led Indian Collective were denied hotel rooms shortly after Uri's post. But after months of boycotts and protests against the hotel and its owners, the Justice Department stepped in and sued, alleging racial discrimination against American Indians. Assistant Attorney Kristen Clark described the hotel's owner's behavior as hateful, saying it invokes a long and painful history of Native stereotypes against the exclusion of the Native American community. The hotel shut down for about a month because of the protests, and Ure was arrested May 31, 2022, accused of spraying a cleaning product at Indian Collective demonstrators outside the hotel. As an Oklahoma Advisory Board on Indian Education enters its milestone year, it still faces unexpected hurdles. An 18-person advisory council is short 7 members as the anniversary of its establishment is approaching. The council was meant to make the quality of Native education and related services more accessible and visible. But the controversies surrounding the state review of the social studies curriculum and its section on Native history has left potential council members unsettled. There are now enough members to form a majority, but the council needs 2 additional votes in order to actually carry out its duties. Until last year, the governor appointed all of the board members. However, that power has been taken over by the state legislature because the governor left vacancies open sometimes for years.